सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मय देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. Hari Om. So we are into this 47th day of Vivekachoodamani Vedanta Shravana Sadhana Yagna. The verse we saw yesterday was verse 391. How Brahman is one. An example is just like the surf, the wave, the whirlpool and the bubbles in the ocean are all nothing but water. In the way, everything in this whole universe, the names and forms, all our personalities and the objects, everything is nothing but the Chit Swarupa or the knowledge aspect of Brahman alone. The next 392nd verse. Sadevedam sarvam jagadavagatam vangmanasayoho satonyannastyeva prakriti parasimni sthitavataha prathakyam mritsannayah kalashagata kumbhadyavagatam vadatyesha bhrantah tvamahamiti maya madiraya. People who are drunk with the wine of Maya. Maya means names and forms, but understanding the names and forms in this universe, when it brings us sorrow, when it brings us comparison, when it brings us jealousy, when it brings us hatred, when it brings us pride, when it brings us unfair competition, corruption, that is Maya. That Maya is a Madira. Madira is wine. Drunk with this wine called Maya, Vadati, Bhrantaha, Tvam Ahamiti. People, they talk of you and I. You and I means in a very competitive, in a distinctive sense, where in not a unificatory sense, but almost with conflict, discord, mentioning about you, I, they, them, it, we and all that. Vadati Esha. How do they talk like this? Bhrantya. They are deluded. Sadevedam sarvam jagat avagatam vang manasayoho. This entire universe, which we know through Vak and Manas, the speech and mind, is nothing but the Brahman. Sataha anyat nasti eva prakriti para simni sthitavataha. There is nothing else other than Brahman, prakriti para simni, which exists beyond the limits of prakriti. Only Brahman alone exists. Within prakriti and without prakriti, everything is a Brahman only. Sthitavataha. Brahman means that oneness, that one feeling, the one thought, the one emotion, the one existence, that is Brahman. Prathakyam mritsannayaha kalashagata kumbhadi avagatam. When everything is one, everything is made of one mud only, but still you say a pot, a cup, a saucer, a plate, a jug, so many different types of utensils, types of cups, plates, pans and pots are made with mud. Without seeing the mud in everything, we talk of different forms, names and forms of those mud. jugs and pots and other things. So that is because of the effect of Maya. Drunk with the power of Maya, drunk with the wine of Maya, people who are deluded talk in this manner. क्रियासमभिहारेण यत्र नान्यदिति श्रुतिः ब्रवीति द्वैतराहित्यं मिथ्याध्यासनिवृत्तये. In order to remove all these superimpositions, mithya adhyasa, false understanding or superimpositions, nivritti means it has to go from our minds. Braviti dvaita rahityam. The Shrutis, the Vedas, the Upanishads talk of freedom from duality. Duality means I and mine, you and yours, they and them, hot and cold, night and day, good and bad, joy and sorrow. Everything is duality. Braviti dvaita rahityam. The Upanishads say that in this world, in this universe, there is actually no duality. Kriya sam abhiharena. By many means, the Shrutis are saying, Yatra nanyat iti Shrutihi. The Shrutis are saying that there is nothing other than I, nothing other than the self in this whole universe. So, Bhagavan Sri Adisankaracharya, here he is pointing out that whatever he has been saying so far about this oneness is not his own opinion or a figment of his imagination or his own thoughts, but these are the words from the Shrutis that he is mentioning here. Akashavan nirmala nirvikalpam nissima nispandana nirvikaram antarbahishshunyam ananyamadvayam swayam param brahma kimasti bodhyam. There is only one thing in this world to know, and that one thing is Brahman. Akashavat. What is it, Brahman? What is the nature of that Brahman? Akashavat. Like space. It is not space, but it is like space. The closest comparison to Brahman is space. Akashavat. Nirmala. The space which is pure. No contamination in that. In that Brahman, there is no. Even space can be polluted. We have increasing pollution in outer space also. With the junk from our rockets and space stations and satellites, the junk is spinning in space around the orbit of the earth. Akash, but in this Brahman, no junk is possible. No pollution is possible. Nirmala, nirvikalpam. There are no thoughts in Brahman. There are no imaginations in Brahman. There are no disturbances of mind in Brahman. It is very steady and stable. Nirvikalpam, no modifications. Nissima, nispandana. This Brahman has got no frontiers. There is no end. There is no limit to this Brahman. It is nissima. Nispandana. There is no what is it called? Brahman, limitless, motionless, without modifications. Neither inside. Nispandana means there is no point of contact in this Brahman. It is not having any vibratory, it has not got a vibratory nature. Everything else in this universe is recognized by its vibratory nature. Everything has got a unique vibration, a valence, which is called in chemistry, or some kind of a quality is there for everything. In this Brahman, there is no vibration, there is no agitation. It is just zero. The zero state of existence is Brahman. Nispandana, it does not move, no vibrations. Nirvikaram, there is no modification in Brahman. It does not become a mountain one day and a river another day, and the sky the third day, or fire the fourth day, no modifications. Brahman has been Brahman since the beginning of time. Even before time, Brahman has remained as Brahman only, without any modification, in the same manner as it was, it is, and it will be. Antarbahihi Shunyam Ananyam Advayam. This Brahman is empty. Empty means it is full with itself, but it does not have anything else in it, whether it is within us or without us. The Brahman is just empty. Antarbahihi Shunya. It is free of inside and outside. That's what it means. Emptiness means not containing objects. This Brahman has got no inside and outside. Just like the space has got no inside space and outside space. It is only an apparition. It is only an illusion of our perception that there's space within the body and the space without the body. The space has got no connection with the body. The body is moving in space. In the same way, Brahman is having no object within or without. It is just objectless, free of any objects within and without. Shunyam, Ananyam. This Brahma has got no other Brahman. It has got no other than itself. It is only alone by itself. It does not have another. Anya means other. Ananya means no other. Advayam. The Brahman is just one. It has got no duality. It is very difficult to describe this, and that is the reason why the rishis have tried to bring out in words through the Sanskrit language the description of what they can about Brahman, the nature of Brahman, Swarupa Lakshanam, meaning the original quality of Brahman. Swayam Param Brahma. Swayam means I. I am that Brahman which has got all these qualities. Param, supreme, Brahma. Brihatvat iti Brahma. Bharanatvat iti Brahma. That which sustains this whole universe is Brahman, and that is none other than I, the self. Kim asti bodhyam. What else is there to know in this world? If at all we have to know something, we have to know the I, the self. Verse 395. Vaktavyam kimu vidyatetra bahudham brahmaiva jiva swayam brahmaitajjagadatam nusakalam brahmadvitiyam shrutihi brahmaivahamiti prabuddhamatayah santyaktabhya sphutam Brahmi bhuya vasanti santatachida nandatmanai tadhruvam. Vaktavyam kimu vidyate atra. What is there now to be said anymore? Bahudha, more than this, in many, many ways it has been told. Brahmaiva jivaha swayam. If you finish it in half a sentence, this jiva, this I, this living being, is none other than Brahman alone. Jiva Swayam. Brahma etat jagat atatam. This Brahman alone has covered this whole universe. Nu sakalam, everything indeed. Brahma advitiyam shrutihi. The Shrutis, the Vedas, they say that this Brahman has got no second. Ekameva advitiyam Brahma. This Brahman is one, and it does not have another duality to say that this is other than Brahman. There is nothing else. Brahma, that Brahman, okay, there is some substance which has not got any duality. So what has it got to do with me in my life, we would ask? Because we always want everything to be connected with what we feel and what we think and our status and our position in life. So in what way does Brahman being non-dual, why should I know about all that? There are so many things in this world that we don't know, and it is not going to matter in our life in any way if we don't know certain things. Why should I know about this? Brahma eva aham. That Brahman, which is non-dual, which is one, which is pervading this whole universe, is I. That I, the self, ahamiti, prabuddha matayaha. The intellect that realizes this, samtyakta bhakyaha sputam. What do? They leave, they give up everything completely. All attachment to the world of objects, names, and forms, the pleasures of the sense organs, the pet peeves of the mind, the beliefs, the egocentric nature of the ego, the likes and dislikes, everything they drop, because when you're a very rich man, when you're a multi-millionaire, you will not be picking up pebbles on the street to, not pebbles, I would say. You would not be picking up fallen food from the street and storing them in your house, because you're so rich, whatever you want, you can get. And why would they be doing such a thing? So, this person who has realized that I am that Brahman will not be picking up small things in this world to get joy out of. He has, he has realized that he is that one who is the producer of all joy in this world, and that is that Brahman. Brahma eva aham iti prabuddha matayaha samtyakta. They have given up bahyaha sputa. Very clearly, they've given up everything else, holding on to other things in this world. Brahmi bhuya vasanti. How do they live? They become Brahman itself. Brahmi bhuya. They have become that nature of Brahmavit, Brahmaiva bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Brahmi bhuya vasanti. Santata, always, at all times. Chidananda atmana etat dhruvam. All the time, very certainly, how is their life? They're living as that Brahman, they're living as Chit Ananda Atma. They're living as that self which is consciousness. What is that self which is consciousness? Everything in this world are Chit. Chit means I am conscious of something. That consciousness, which is conscious of all names and forms, is that I. They live as that self, which is consciousness, Ananda, which is also bliss, which is also joy. Etat dhruvam. This is very certain. So there is a shloka by Bhagavan Adisankaracharya. श्लोकार्धेन प्रवक्ष्यामि यदुक्तं ग्रन्थकोटिभिः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः. He says, shloka ardhena pravakshami. In half a shloka, I will tell yaduttam grantha koti bihi. In crores of texts, what is written, I will tell in half a shloka. What is that which I want to say? Brahma Satya. The only truth is Brahman, Jagan Mithya. This whole universe, this whole world that we see is only an appearance of name and form. And what is the connection between me and that Brahman? Jivaha, I. Brahma eva na aparaha. This Jiva, I, is Brahman alone and not anything different. Jahimalamaya koshe aham dhiyothapitasham prasabha manila kalpe linga vehepi paschat nigama gadita kirtim nityamanandamurtim swayamiti parichiya brahma rupena tishtha. How to remain in that Brahman? Jahi malamaya koshe aham dhiya uthapita asha. Malamaya koshe. This body, this annamaya kosha, is nothing but mala. Mala means all impurities. If we even cut one part of our skin, we don't want to keep touching our blood for a long time. We wash our hands, we dress the wound, we cover it up. We don't want even a sore wound to be open, or we don't want even a fresh wound to be open. That's because we don't like that contact. When people see blood somewhere, they get irritated, they don't like it. And everything else that comes out of this body is only impurities. Malamaya koshe. In this body, aham dhiya uthapita asha. In this body is I. There are desires that spring from this thought that this body is I, this body is me. Prasabham anilakalpe linga lingavehe api paschat. So disidentify with this body, Annamaya Kosha. In the same way, the mind is the source for all impurities of thoughts. Disidentify with the mind also as I. Nigama Gatita Kirtim. The Vedas have sung the praise of this Brahman. Nityam Ananda Murtim. What is the nature of this Brahman? What is the form of this Brahman? Nitya, every day, eternally. Ananda, blissful. Murti, form. The form of bliss is Brahman. Who is that? What is that form? Whose form is it? Is it some god sitting in a temple or on top of the mountains or in the sky? No, it is me, myself. Swayam iti parichiya. Understand this completely, thoroughly, that I, the self, is that Brahman, which is a Nityam Ananda Murti, eternally blissful and joyful. Brahma Rupena Tishta. After knowing this, what should we do? Be that Brahman. Brahma Rupena Tishta. Remain in that form as Brahman. So the next verse is a very, very beautiful verse. We talk a lot about cleaning. We talk a lot about tidying. We go about cleaning our houses, and then after 15 days, you see the mess has returned. We dust all the walls. Then after 1 month, the cobwebs have come back, and we arrange all the books. In a matter of 2 or 3 months, the whole order is disturbed because so much of activity has been happening that nothing stays permanently. The law of entropy is at work at all times, where everything is in a state of degradation. So, how to stop this state of degradation? How to remain a life where everything is stable around us? Everything is stable, everything is beautiful, everything is as we have kept it, arranged it, and as we want it to be. That gives us the most joy in the world. So the cause for that problem and the solution is also described in this verse. Shavakaram yavat bhajati manujastavad shuchihi parebhyasyat kleshah janana marana vyadhi nilayah yadatmanam shuddham kalayati शिवाकारमचलम् तदा तेभ्यो मुक्तो भवति तदाह श्रुतिरपि शवाकारं यावत् भजति. As long as I am worshipping this physical form, which is nothing but a dead body, without that life, without that consciousness, this body is dead. Shava akaram, the form of a dead body. But yavat bhajati, I am serving this body, manujaha tavat ashuchihi. As long as I am serving this body, meaning I am petting this body, I am pampering this body, I am feeding this body, I am nourishing this body, I am indulging the body, I am going on talking about makeup, hairstyle, hair coloring, hair cutting, and then making decorations to myself, getting a lot of jewels, wearing different types of clothes, changing many clothes in a day, different types of shoes, different types of nail polish for the feet, manicure, pedicure, all the time body shop, doing all things like, what is it called, different alignments for the face, and going for different therapies to make us look good in the presence of others, to make the body very different. These are all bhajana of the body we do, thinking that this is I. As long as we are going to do that, we will never stop the impurities coming to us in our life, because the body is a mass of impurities. And when I believe that I am this body, I will attract impurities into my life. I will not stop attracting impurities into my life. Parebhyah syat kleshaha. And this suffering of others, I am there and the other person is there. Because of that duality, the sense of duality, I have a lot of impurities in the mind. What are the impurities of the mind? Avidya. Avidya means ignorance of who I am, and believing that whatever is not me, whatever is not the self, whatever is not eternal, whatever is not pure, and whatever anityam, ashuchi, whatever is not eternal, whatever is not pure, whatever is not the self is I. Nitya Shuchi Atmakyati. So there is avidya. The next klesha is asmita. Asmita means the egoistic sense of I and mine is born of asmita. Then raga, dvesha. Raga is attraction for something. Dvesha is repulsion from something. Abhinivesha is fear of losing life. So all these kleshas are coming because of dvaita. Dvayat bhayam bhavati. Abhinivesha is fear. And the fear comes because of duality. And what is the cause for that duality? Avidya. The root cause of all kleshas is avidya. And I get that because of my understanding that I am different and the other person is different. That is what makes us be cruel in our life, in our activities, in our words, in our thoughts, and in our reactions and actions. There is cruelty, there is jealousy, there is disharmony, all that because of the belief in duality. When we believe that all of us are one, when everything in this universe is one, we have same feelings, we have same emotions, we have same experiences. The only the category, only the degree will be different, but everything is the same almost for all of us. When we understand it that way, we are going to be very kind with everybody else. But unfortunately, the klesha is afflicting us. Janana Marana Vyadhi Nilayaha. This body is also the station for birth, death, and disease. Vyadhi Nilayaha. It's a station for all that. Yat Atmanam Shuddham Kalayati. But the individual who is worshipping, who is contemplating on the self, Kalayati, Shivakaram Achalam. This Atma, this I, the self, is the form of Shiva, Mangalam, auspiciousness, life. It is not the form of death, it is a form of life. Achalam, it is firm and unshakable life. Sada tebhyaha muktaha bhavati. Tada. Then, when I contemplate on the self, I become free of all impurities. Bhavati, hi tadaha shrutirapi. Even the Shrutis, even the Upanishads, the Vedas have spoken about this. So, the one stop shop to stop impurities in our surroundings, impurities in the body, impurities in the mind. Of course, Gurudev brings a counter here. We can very easily give up all cleaning of the body, all cleaning of the surroundings, all keeping our surroundings untidy the way it is, because the Upanishads have told that Shavakaram ma bhajatu. Don't worship Shava, objects. Worship Shiva, which is life. So I don't need to pay attention to all this. We will very easily relax. There is no place for untidiness and uncleanliness in spirituality. Shaucha is very important, but this cleanliness is for the sake of realization. It is not for the sake of enjoyment in this world. Shaucha. And but how to, even if we are cleaning and tidying all the time, even if we are cleaning the body and tidying ourselves up, tidying up after ourselves, cleaning up after ourselves, we are not able to find any respite, because day in and day out we have to keep doing that same work. How to be free of that? The freedom from that work happens when, as we clean, as we have to do the necessary actions that we have to do in the world, we always keep contemplating that I am that pure, spotless, divine self which knows no impurity. As we contemplate and do the cleaning, we will become when we become that cleanliness, when we become that tidiness, which is the nature of Brahman, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta. Nitya Shuddha, ever pure. That Brahman is always pure. There is no untidiness in that Brahman. There is no uncleanliness in that Brahman. So when we realize the nature of that as our own self, then slowly, slowly, we will become free of all these activities that we have to do in the world, engage in the world, to keep everything clean, to keep the surroundings clean and in order. Things will start happening around us. It is not that it will turn unclean, but the more we identify ourselves with Brahman, our surroundings and our situations, the mind, everything will become in tune with that Brahman, the nature of that Brahman, which is nothing but purity and cleanliness. So, with this, we'll continue with some other verses. The other verses are the next chapter of this, from verse 398. There is no diversity in reality. Verses 398 to 406. We will look at it tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हर नमः पार्वती पतये. हर हर महादेव. हरि ओम.